guys, George here. So tonight I thought of bringing to you a after action report. Um, the after action report will be on Scenario U22 Road to Kozani Pass. I played it with my esteemed um, Thursday night playing partner, Mark Dennehy. We played it twice. We both won as the Germans, unfortunately. Unfortunately, because we weren't able to recreate the historical outcome, which was the New Zealanders actually blew through a bloody nose to the Germans on this one, forcing them to withdraw. Due to quick thinking on the part of um, the United Kingdom forces, they reinforced the area just in time, and I guess the Germans were a little bit too cocky. They got what they got. So basically here, let's see if I can get out a pen. And now that I know how to draw with this, it's great. So basically the victory conditions here is to capture 4 out of 5 of the multi-hex buildings on board 3 by game end. And is it easy to do? Most likely not. So essentially here for the British OB, you have 6 half squads that cannot recombine by SSR, a 9-2 leader, a 9-1 leader, and 2 LMGs. And the British player starts and moves first, and then as a reinforcements on turn 1, you get some tanks, but the tanks are basically armed with a machine gun, 3 with a CMG and 2 with a bow-mounted machine gun. And we were both puzzled as to what to do with these tanks. By turn 4, you get, I think, 4, they look like Matildas, it could be Valentines. Let's see if I can zoom in. I'll be damned if I know what that says. Anyway, then on turn 6, you get some, you get a good load of reinforcements, which is 6 4 5 8s, 2 heavies and a medium, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that. Checking. Yeah, 2 heavies, 2 heavies and 1 medium. That's quite a powerful load. And don't forget, these fellows here, some of these tanks only have 1 armor factor. Okay. And on turn 2, you have 2 AT guns. But the key here is knowing where to go with the AT guns. As the Germans, you get what appears to be a reconnaissance force, and then the main thrust of the attack comes on turn 2, either on one edge of the board or another, either on board 4 or 6. So with no further ado, let's take a look at the end of each turn of this scenario. I may have mixed up the turns, but they're pretty much in chronological order. All right, so here was my take on how to set up the which I found to be a horrendous error, which was basically set them up all the way in the rear. The red is for British, and wait for the assault to come, and keep one guy on second level to strip concealment. Whoop-de-doo, big deal. However, with my machine gun armored fighting vehicles, I try to bring them forward, or areas where they have height advantage, or areas where they could block the village, or areas where I would force the German player to think twice and split his forces. Didn't quite work out that way. So what was the outcome of this? I could have very well started off my units up front in the village. Um, let's take a look at that setup, those setup instructions and read them again because I kind of misunderstood them. Set up in multi-hex buildings on board 3 with no restriction as to how many units should be in each building. So ideally, the forward-looking buildings, this one here and this one here, could have permitted me either to go up on the mountain or over the mountain to this area here. And in this case, perhaps as far down as here or here, and then try and fighting withdraw back. But instead, I chose to have a vacation. Anyway, so what did that ensue? How that turned out was that the German leader, or the German player, was able to march unimpeded on the board and cover a lot of ground on the first turn. Whereas I have these tanks, I'm very indecisive as to what to do with them. They have low armor. My units do not budge. Now to the next slide. So finally, seeing what has transpired, I moved my tanks even up further. And the whole goal here was to go here. And I'm completely ignoring the soft targets up there. Again, these guys are trying to block the entrance. And actually, these guys are going back here to set up my AT guns within the village. I'm not even trying to cover the high ground. Now, here's the thing. These are olive grounds, but April, we should be in season. Anywho. Olive groves. We have a plus 110. And this is where, one more slide here. This is where I discovered that I couldn't do anything about him outside of normal range because he has a CMG. And then some tanks, I'm facing here, one tank's faced there, and I'm rear-ended. Here, lucky shot, this guy burns. And again, the Germans are coming in unimpeded. I came all the way to the rear. This guy's a burning wreck now. And now we're trying to affect these tanks. However, again, look at the range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just outside of normal range. What am I going to do? Absolutely nothing. However, I came out from the hauled out position, came here, and that would force them to have to either bypass this location or go 1, 2, 3, 4, or go 1, 2, 3 to here, slowing him down by wrecking things that I needed. Now, ideally, I think the best bet I could have done was since they have to capture multi-hex buildings, position them around here. So they're forced to come within normal range. Okay, but take the infantry out as fast as you can and try to do a fighting withdraw and put the AT guns in difficult to reach locations for the Germans, but all the time having line of sight to the good old Jerry's. Nothing much has changed here except we're being overrun. And the tank turns the corner. These boys are coming in this way. And we have a whole slew of infantry coming in this way. We set up our AT guns in ways where we can try and protect the buildings. The tanks are supposed to come this way. So my Matildas, was like I like to call them, are coming through here. I know I said red for the British, but too lazy to change color. Again, nothing more very uneventful here. Uh, just trying to get a position. Mouth this tank. Let's change color again. Red. So this guy's mouthed, as you can see. This fellow is not, but and then I have something here. But it still forces his armor to come chasing me. This fellow expended some time here. Finally, we started exchanging punches here. So here we managed to get a lucky shot, damned a lot of units. We have a little malfunction of an MG here. He repaired AT gun. There's 3 tanks, so here we're in melee, but here's your anti-tank gun, your anti-tank rifle, and everybody's unscathed. This guy has started opening fire. This fellow here is covering this road. So you'd think that everything's fine and dandy, and look at the heavy here, right? But no, actually, to be perfectly frank with you, I should have set up front as much as I could and let the reinforcements take care of the village at the last minute. This is how it looks now. We got one vehicle shocked. We're trying to maneuver to here and here. Got wall advantage. This guy's abandoned. Let's take a look. What counter is that? Yeah, abandoned. Well, we shocked the living daylights out of him. He is not in good order still, and they managed to score a hit on one of my units. Oh, they're coming around the bend. They're coming around the bend. And what do I care? They're open top vehicles. And check this out. Casualty number 1, casualty number 2. And unfortunately, casualty number 3. And he's forced to send some tanks to eradicate these guys, eliminate them. But they are a great concern. And now we're battling head to head. But here's the problem. The problem is these are negative modifier leaders. So is this guy. But the number of units here now far exceed the number of units on this side. And these fellows here, they're in the right place in the right time with -2 modifiers, everything being a stone building. This is what we call a kill stack. And trying to get a kill using the infantry target type is a bit precarious right there. Start with 8 to hit, +1 for buttoned up, +2 for the TEM. Already it's a 5, and it's less than an average shot of 7. So now the Germans are making inroads. Broke this guy. So I couldn't pass my morale checks, more or less. And this guy's stunned because HMG here got him. And I should be able to fire up there as well. There's another stunned fellow. Tank here. But we're outnumbered. We've done a good blow. We've given a good shot. Another fellow out of action here. Another fellow done here. Um, this dude is cowering all down. um, and now slowly, we're also generating heroes. We captured one building, and lucky shot on the AT gun. That's done. This guy is cruising around with a mouth main armament, but he still has possibly 8 factor machine guns. Let's zoom in on there as well. 8. There it goes. Let's go to the next slide. And slowly, although we've had some success, what the German player did, as you can see, is he used an excellent line of advance from here, there, brought in reinforcements from the rear, although we knocked out one tank. There's one tank left. This guy's a burning wreck. This guy's milfed. But here, they're branching into the village. And this is where the bad luck factor comes in, really. With the HMG not being able to knock these guys out. Here we have an attack as well. We even got a burning wreck there. So one down. This one is about to fall as well. And then we have this one about to fall as well. It's about to fall because possibly encircled, possibly because, look, 10 minus 2 leader. Look where he popped up, right in the thick of it. And that's where you want these high morale, high negative DRM leaders. So if you look at the Axis line of advance now, in part because we chose to have a rear defense, they have a good portion of the village. 1, 2, 3, one more needs to fall, and hasta la vista. For what reason did I advance? Possibly, possibly to get into CC with an open top vehicle. These guys remarkably are doing well, but now everybody here is gone, broken. And everybody retreats back. There was a little firefight here. Didn't go well for the British. These guys are eliminated. These guys are about to be eliminated. These guys were eliminated a long time ago, but at a huge expense. That's where I kind of call it quits because there was no way I could eliminate these guys. These guys were eliminated. What am I doing? Let's go back to our slide. This gives you a quicker preview. There it is. When I looked at the board and the number of units I had, there is no way I can hold back the tide of Germans at this point. So I said, hey, I'm throwing in a towel. And maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I shouldn't have. I think what broke my personal morale was that was the unfortunate part of it. Having said that, I think this concludes this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing this game, and I look forward to playing Road to Kozani Pass again. It is a scenario that was adopted from Crescendo of Doom by Jim Staller for the advanced squad leader system. And let me tell you something, the rules are clear. It's a very fluid scenario. It is about movement. It's not always about shooting, staying there and throwing the dice. It's about being cunning. And the puzzle here is to try and figure out what's the best use for your CMG main armament and BMG main armament tanks. And if you get that, then you're most likely going to win as the British player. Give me a sec. I'm going to find out the roar data and give that to you as a last bit of information. So the data for Road to Kozani Pass is 11 British victories to 13 German. Add another add another 2 to the German. It's still a balanced scenario. Recommendations. Average recommendation 6.6 reported by 20 players. Yeah. Well, that was my after action report video for Tuesday, March 25th. Happy Independence Day to all my Hellenic friends. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, tell a couple of friends about it. Word of mouth is the best way of spreading goodwill and good cheer. I also have now a buy me a coffee link, so you can look that up on my main page. If you want to spare some change and buy me a coffee, by all means, do so. And if I were to meet you in public and in person, chances are I would buy you a coffee or a tea, whichever you prefer. I am not doing this for money. I'm doing this for pleasure. So hang in there, guys. 2025 is almost over. And roll low and live life to the fullest. Enjoy, guys. Take care. And ladies.